Oh, hello. How you going? I wanted to talk about the English language for a bit, if I may. Words in particular. A few ones that I want to go through. Sorry, I'll stop this stupid accent. All right, let's start with the first one. The first word is gay, right? I want to just clear some things up. To me, there's three meanings of the word gay. There's the old version, the like in the Flintstones, we'll have a gay old time and a golden gay time. It means like happy or content or joyful, and like, gosh, that was swell. Gee, everyone seems so gay. That version doesn't seem to get used anymore. It seems to be a bit ancient, but I think technically it's still correct. It still has that meaning. The next meaning of gay is the obvious one, homosexual. More for men. I think a woman can be gay as well, but we have another word, lesbian. That's the feminine version, obviously. So gay just means a homosexual person. And then the third meaning is the one I sort of probably got from South Park, a bit like other phrases like my bad, sir, I missed lunch. Which is not grammatically correct, but it's just popular. I like it. I just say my bad if I do something wrong. But gay means you don't like something. That's gay. Why would I do that? That's gay. It means it's not interesting to you. It doesn't appeal. You don't want to do it. Now something, I think they're all related, but they're not. There's still three separate meanings. So, like for me, and I think that word gay, the third meaning, is mainly used by young males. I could be wrong, and I think, there's probably a connection to the other meanings of gay. Like, if someone's gay, like, you'd be like, oh, that's gay. I don't want, if there was like some beautiful pink outfit, people, I'd say that's gay. I'm not wearing that. And it's sort of ambiguous. I sort of mean it's gay, it's homosexual, but I also mean it's gay, like, I don't want it. I don't want that. I'm not like that. It doesn't appeal to me. Now, there's nothing anti-homosexual about that third meaning, in my opinion. It's a separate meaning. It also relates to the first meaning. If you think of, I don't know when the second meaning came about, maybe the 60s or 70s when it meant homosexual, maybe earlier, maybe it was always had the ambiguity. But to me, that relates to the oldest meaning where, if you had a gay person, people start, the 60s, things are changing. And then gay people seem to still, like, for other guys, it'd be like, gee, that guy's gay. Like, it just seems related to me. And in the same way, if you had, like, something really old that you showed to people these days, people having a gay time, people would be like, that's gay. Like, so, yeah, it's kind of ironic, that meaning. Alright, man, next word I want to do, man, it's, y'all niggas know what it's gonna be. It's the word nigger, you know what I'm saying? This word, I get very confused with nigger. Is it offensive or not? Because I watch The Wire, and I've watched other shows that have a lot of black people. I listen to rap music, and they say nigger, 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 you know what I'm saying? Yeah, what's up, nigger? So again, I think there's two separate meanings. There's the, nigger, the old word that was, I guess, a racial slur that was negative towards black people. Although, again, I don't know why we give so much power to a word when, slavery was bad and the way black people or Africans were treated was bad. But the word itself is just a word. And anyway, so there's that one, the dirty niggers that, get them filthy niggers off my property, or, whatever, all sorts of... If you see Django Unchained, that's got a lot of that sort of nigger. Where, I was like, gee, yeah, that word sounds really bad now. And, I'm partially ignorant of the past, but that's okay. We've got it. We're born today. We're in this world. I hear nigger all the time, and I heard it more as used as, it means just mate, or buddy, or you. Friend, hey, brother, hey, nigger, what's up? What's up, man? Y'all niggas know what I'm saying? It just means you. And to me, it's fundamentally racist if black people are allowed to say it, and it's fine, and no one blinks an eye. But as soon as a white guy tries to say it, or a white woman, or whoever, or Asian person tries to say, oh, nigga, 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 You can't just say, oh, that's not okay. That's racist. You're judging people based on the color of their skin, what they're allowed to say. Stop policing people. So anyway, I mean, it's not like I get off saying it a lot, but I've been called nigger a bunch of times, you know, friends that don't have African background. They might have brown skin or dark skin. But you know, they say, what's up, my nigga? And I say, yo, nigga, what's up? It's just, it's a new meaning that's, anyway. Okay, another thing I want to talk about is Americans. I think a lot of American spellings are really stupid, like economize, I don't know if that's a good example, socialize, normalize, they spell it with a Z. Just because it sounds like a Z sound doesn't mean it should be a Z. It's an S, man, it's an S. Now, okay, fine, you can have different spellings for different places and it becomes the standard, but I just think it's a pattern. Like, look at the word rise. It's a rise, it's a Z sound, but we don't spell it with a Z just because it sounds like that. And I get the impression America, as they started learning English or just tried to, you know, they made lots of mistakes. They weren't, you know, refined like the British or whatever. And they just, like, for example, the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, it ends with Z, okay? It's the letter Z. But they say Z, because it rhymes with D and E and G, you know. That's the impression I get. Another thing with America, like the imperial units, they still use those. You got 12 inches in a foot, 3 feet in a yard, and then I don't know how many yards in a mile. Like, is it 1,700 or 1,600? Is it 1,728? That would make sense because it's 12 cubed, but I can't. I'll look it up. You know, I don't know how many ounces in a pound or how many pounds in a stone. It's retarded. I mean, NASA has made major errors that cost, I think, you know, millions or billions of dollars. Possibly people have gotten killed because of conversion, because of ambiguity, where someone put a unit in feet when it was meant to be in meters, or vice versa. And I just think they got to catch up with the rest of the world. The metric system makes way more sense. We have the same prefixes for everything: milli, mega, kilo, you know, kilogram, kilometer. That's funny though in English as well. It's kilogram and kilometer. Like the names Angelica and Angelina. Like, so for fun I usually say Angelica or Angelina. I just find it funny how words, yeah, anyway. Yeah, there's also giga, means a billion, and it's just centi for centimeter, and it's good because whether it's grams or meters or, I mean, time's different, but that's sort of universal. It just makes it simpler. Another big dumb thing in America is math. They say math. I like studying math. I think it's maths, okay? Look at statistics, right? You shorten that into what? Stats. Right? We call it stats in Australia. Stats, right? Stats in America. You have to shout everything. Whenever I see American TV, they're always shouting, even though you can already hear them. You just got to relax, man. But maths, it's mathematics. So you shorten it to maths. It's not, you don't say, I study mathematic. It's mathematics. So it's maths. I think they say math because they think math can be a plural. Like, I'm thinking of sheep and fish, because fish is a plural. So for whatever reason, to them maths sounded wrong. So they're like, math. You got one math, you got two math. We study math. Anyway. Okay, another quick thing is, a really common mistake is the word there, or I guess there's 3 separate words. I don't know what the definition of word is. Is it the sound or is it spelling? I'd go with spelling probably. But even there can be ambiguity. So there's, you know, there, like something is over there. There's there, as in it's their ball. They own it. That's ownership. So that's, if they own something, it's T-H-E-I-R. T-H-E-I-R. I'm really bad with spelling. I can't say the letters that fast. If it's over there, the ball is over there, it's T-H-E-R-E. And if it's they're gonna do it tomorrow, that's short, that's a contraction, it's short for they are going to do it tomorrow. They are. So we get rid of the A in R and we just write they apostrophe R-E. Now, I know a lot of people know that. I'm just trying to clear it up. It's such a common mistake that adults make, and it's so frustrating. I made mistakes when I was, in kindergarten, when I was in year 3, year 4, but I learnt. And once I learnt, I didn't forget, and I understood it. So it drives me nuts that people are oblivious to the difference, and seemingly unwilling to learn. Other examples of contractions are don't, shouldn't, couldn't. If you look at those, they're short for do not, should not, could not, would not, and the O is missing, so the apostrophe goes where the O would be. Another example would be fish and chips. If you're saying, rock and roll, the N, you're just really saying an N sound, so you've gotten rid of and. So there should be an apostrophe for the A and an apostrophe for the D, before and after the N. Rock and roll, 2 apostrophes. A really common mistake as well when people say things slowly, they say, I should have done that. I could have done that yesterday. It's not could of. It's could have, should have, would have. Should of makes no sense. Should of. It doesn't make any sense. But people do that because there is the contraction should have. Instead of should have, you can say should have. And it sounds like should of, should have. But it should have. So just be aware of that. A couple other weird American ones. I'm not just trying to pick on them, but honor, color, they take out the U. They're like, no, but you don't pronounce the U. Why would you write it? So I just think that's a problem sometimes when you try to control things too much. Like one other would be mum. I don't understand. M-O-M. That sounds like mom. When would you say mom? I can't, like Tom is T-O-M. I don't see how you would spell it that way. When would mom rhyme with Tom? Hey mom, hey Tom. It sounds weird. Anyway, so an example of a word that I think, there's a problem. The word flammable. To me, that's not a word. I looked it up a while ago. It's inflammable. You can inflame something. You can set it alight. Someone can become inflamed. So inflame is a verb. Flame isn't a verb. You can't flame something. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe it could become a verb, maybe there could be, but the word is inflame. So if something can be inflamed, it's inflammable. If something can catch on fire, inflammable. Now, what I think happened was people heard the word inflammable and they thought, oh no, this isn't inflammable, it's flammable. They thought inflammable meant not flammable. So they created a word flammable, which isn't even a word. And then because of that, flammable means something that can catch alight, and inflammable, even though people think it's the opposite, it still remains there as the correct word, and it means something that can be set alight. So inflammable and flammable are synonyms, but really it's just flammable is not a word. And I just think it's annoying. I'm not, like with gay and nigger, those words can evolve and take on new meanings, but I like it when it's sort of, there's some kind of logic, or there's a context where it's useful. But when it's something more logical, like flammable, that doesn't make any sense. Inflammable is the word. The opposite would be something like non-inflammable or uninflammable or something like that, which might seem annoying, but it's inflame. You don't flame something. It doesn't make sense. Last thing, or one more thing, is the word billion. Now, I find this one really problematic because Carl Sagan and Neil deGrasse Tyson and a lot of scientists use it a lot. Like I was watching Cosmos, and Carl Sagan says the galaxy is full of billions and billions of stars strewn throughout our galaxy. Human beings, are keen to learn more about our profoundly large galaxy. And I really like the way he says profound and the way he says human beings, humans. I find the way Carl Sagan talks, it's like a cross between Kermit the Frog, I can't do Kermit, and what's his name? Agent Smith from The Matrix. Mr. Anderson, welcome back. But anyway, when it comes to the word billion, we need to be clear what it means. If you think of the word billion, it's like bicycle. It means 2. Trillion means 3. Quadrillion, 4, right? That's obvious. And million is like 1. It's a bit like mono. I'm sure there are other prefixes for one that start with M, but now if you look at the American system is, okay, you got 1,000, that's got 3 zeros, then a million has 6 zeros, and then a billion has 9 zeros, and then a trillion has 12 zeros, and it just keeps going, quadrillion, and you quickly run out of names. Now, to me, that didn't make any sense. I can't remember what age I was. I was like, wait, why is it a million and then a billion? Like 1,000 doesn't fit into the pattern. If a million is 6 zeros, then a billion should be 12 zeros. That's what makes sense. And that is a form. That's called long form. And I don't know which existed first, but if I had to guess, I'd say the proper long form existed first. And then Americans were like, well, after a million comes a billion. And they started making mistakes. And then they just ruined it and made short form. And that's become the standard. And it frustrates me, especially when scientists use it, because it doesn't make mathematical sense. So it should be 1,000 is 3 zeros, then a million, 6 zeros, like a 1 followed by 6 zeros. Then after that, with 9 zeros is 1,000 million. You just call it 1,000 million. And you can have 10,000 million, 100,000 million. Then the 12 zeros, it's a billion. And then 15 is 1,000 billion. And then 18 zeros is a trillion. And the numbers are much easier. It's just 6, 12, 18 for a million, billion, trillion. And then quadrillion. And, you know, so the advantages are mainly two. It makes sense, right? That's reason number one. Reason number two, you don't run out of words so quickly. You can talk about very big numbers and just say, 1,000 trillion, rather than it being, and it just lets you use more, you're not running out of terms so quickly. Okay, anyway, I think I'll leave it there. The English language is, it's got all these things. Actually, there's one other thing. This might be a bit dodgy, but with comedy, I think so comedians sometimes make controversial jokes, like about rape or about, there's dead baby jokes and stuff, or about, say, a tragedy, 9/11 or something like that. And I just want to clarify, like, people have the right not to find things funny. And you can complain, you can say it wasn't good, you can tell your friends he's not funny. But what I find annoying is that people will seem to enjoy a comedian's work, and even every joke they say, people will laugh, not everyone. They'll laugh at fat jokes. Bill Burr is a comedian, Irish, I think. He's hilarious. He has a podcast, Monday morning podcast. I really agree with some of what he says. People will laugh at, fat jokes, or, the black jokes, the Asian jokes. But then as soon as it's something, there's a joke about a mentally handicapped person. And it's not mean-spirited. It just happens to be on that topic. And they'll get offended. And you have a right to be offended, that's fine, but to sort of pick that and think, nah, this comedian, he's out there to ruin lives for everyone. I don't think people realize that comedians don't shoot the messenger. They're just trying to make funny things. They're not trying to hurt feelings, I think, most of the time. And if they were, they're not going to get very far. There just seems to be this hypocrisy sometimes where people will record a video from a show, like illegally, or at least without permission, and then put it up out of context, take that small part out of context and try to, start this vendetta against some comedian who's just doing their job. How many people would hold up to that kind of scrutiny if someone was watching you during the whole day with a camera and just picked the part that they didn't like? The one time during a day I'm working at school and I'm doing work and I'm take the role, and then I'm preparing lessons, and then I relax and think, I've got 5 minutes till my next lesson. I get my phone out to check a message, or I play chess for 5 minutes, and then someone takes that and says, this is what teachers are doing, this is what they're doing with their time. That would be ridiculous. And to clarify, with something like rape, obviously it's a horrible thing. It disturbs me. I can't believe how commonly it occurs and how many, not just men, it also happens, women can commit rape as well, but just the fact that people would ever do that is psychologically very messed up. And the fact that there are politicians that have said things like women shouldn't be allowed to get abortions, if they've been raped and stuff. But anyway, it's a horrible thing. But when a comedian, there's two different parts of language. There's like the literal, talking about something, and abstract, the abstract concept. So there I was sort of talking about what rape actually is and how bad it is. But if someone makes a joke about rape. They're just talking about the abstract concept of it. Maybe I can give like a bad joke that I think I read it on reddit.com about 9/11. You know, this kid was this person was remembering their father who was on one of the planes, and it was very sad, and it's just a joke, it's made up. And then, you know, they say they'll never forget the last words their father said to them, because the father called, and this other person says, "What was it?" And it was Allah Akbar. It's just a joke, right? That's for the last words. You know, it's so sad. But it's not, you know, 9/11 is one of the worst events ever. It's just, you know, it's disturbing and scary, but it's just a joke that takes that situation and just the abstract concept of this is the format of the situation, and here's a little twist, here's a thing that you didn't expect that's kind of funny. And you can laugh at that. You're not laughing at victims, you're not laughing at what happened. And I just think most people I think understand this intuitively, but sometimes people will take something and it hurts them. And we've got to be careful not to be too sensitive, to be aware of things, and you can criticize. But yeah, anyway, so just, yeah, there's abstract and literal. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching if you watched. Okay, bye.